All right guys, this is going to be the ultimate Kailua tour. It actually happened over 2 days. One of our kids had an accident, so broken elbow, we had to rush. So if you notice different clothes, you notice Mahe popped into the video, that's why. If I'm gonna come to Hawaii and pay $2 million cash.
Thanks for being on our channel.
We're taking our clients through every aspect of Kailua in this video. From the most northern part, you know, by the Marine Corps base, and then we went as far into the mountain area, or Mauka, and all the way to the ocean. It's the ultimate Kailua tour.
That's not a house, is it?
That is.
This is a house?
There's not another video on the internet on YouTube that goes through this much of Kailua all in one video. This video might be an hour.
We're gonna catch all the different vibes that maybe you don't necessarily even think or consider when you're looking at Kailua. It's not just beach, it's not just sand, it's not just bikes, it's not just walkability. There's also green, lush vegetation, jungle, pine trees, luxury homes, cool architecture, orchards, every kind of real estate, of home types, of weather, of plant life.
Gotta go back to the plants.
It always has to go back to plants. But we're gonna show you all of that today.
There's $6 million estates. There's a pawn shop that does loans on anything. We're being respectful and not showing them, but we'll see like a little bit of disruption in the community. The whole gamut. This is almost like a Kailua documentary. Yeah. Let's go. Hey guys, real quick, it's Derek Okahashi. Pick up the phone if you're not looking at the screen. I have 2 things to go over with you. So number 1, we're totally accessible. No matter where you are in the world, if you have a Hawaii real estate need, or maybe even a mainland real estate need, hit us up. We have our contact information in every video in the description. Number 2, we made a new website called myhawaiihomevalue.com. Go there, we'll give you a free valuation for your home, whether you need to sell in 10 years or in 10 days or never. You can get a free home valuation at myhawaiihomevalue.com. We are at the end of the H3. A few hundred yards more, I go into the Marine Corps base. You can see Kaneohe Bay to my left. When I make this turn, you'll start to see the Marine Corps base. If you're going to Kailua, this is the, like the most northern exit on the H3. So, we did one Kailua video. I feel like it didn't do it the full justice. We want to be your go-to for Kailua. So we're starting all the way at the top in the AIKAHI Park area. This is AIKAHI Gardens. AIKAHI Gardens is a townhome community, kind of a unique one, So if you are gonna work on the Marine Corps base or want commissary access or whatever, you're like you're right outside the gate, without those right outside of a military base feels that you can get some places, especially certain Navy bases across the country like Mayport. Convenient in a sense that you're on the H3 in seconds and you're at the Marine Corps base front gate in a minute. Actually, I would say in Hawaii, our military bases, the way that it's set up, you don't have like the right outside the base feels, except for maybe Schofield. So AIKAHI Gardens, this is just a townhome community. They're a little bit older, but they're nice and spacious feeling. There are like popcorn ceilings. So there's a pool in the community right here. I don't think I've come here and not seen like people doing yard work or something, so it seems to be a well-kept community. I show this because this is a part of Kailua. It's its own little thing over here. Like AIKAHI is different than some of the other areas. It's like nothing else because there's nothing else here. Like you're on the outskirts of Kailua. You're not getting that Kailua Town vibe. I mean, you can walk to the beach from here, but it's not just like a super fast one. You're also not going to like Morning Brew Coffee in the Kailua Town area very easily. This is a less known part of Kailua, I would say. When people do Kailua videos, they're focusing on Kailua Town, Lanikai, Coconut Grove area, and we'll get to those today again because, again, we want to make the ultimate Kailua tour. Okay, so I'm gonna turn left off of Kaneohe Bay Drive, AIKAHI Elementary. So interesting thing, that this community, everyone comes here to play on the weekends. The AIKAHI Park area, this is the heart of it. This AIKAHI community kind of like centers around the elementary park here for like the younger kids, and then there's another park that way where kids play soccer and t-ball and all this stuff. Cool playground area that belongs to the school, right? So shaded by these monkey pod trees, which is like the symbol of Hawaii, or a symbol of Hawaii. It's like a pirate ship everywhere. I mean, elaborate playground, but you can't get in. So you notice this, because you can't actually get into the play. There's no gate, and the school won't put a gate. I probably for liability reasons. They obviously know that people are coming in here and playing every weekend. It's madness. But I think for liability reasons, they don't just leave it open, I guess. But I've been to other elementary schools. In fact, leave us a comment. Wherever you live, whether you're local, you're here in Hawaii, or you're on the mainland, is it normal that you can just go into high schools, elementary schools, and like use the facilities? I've always envisioned it as kind of like a public thing. But they lock the gates here, they don't put a gate here, but it doesn't matter. Like you see grandmas, you know, aunties, see older people, everyone just hops the fence. And this is like the gathering place on the weekends and after school. All right, this is the AIKAHI Park area. Just show you some of the houses. As is with Kailua homes and Kailua neighborhoods at large. Older homes, but then well kept. So some carports, some garages, which I would, you know, you probably at some point were carports that got enclosed. And custom, right? So you see different kinds of roofs. Is it roofs? 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 I don't know what that architecture style is called, but you know, you see custom, you see people's personal touch on these homes. So that was a quick dive into the AIKAHI Park area. Important note about this is if you're gonna work on the Marine Corps base, or if you just want quick access to H3, this is the perfect zone, because if I turn right here, I'm right back on the H3 or right back into the Marine Corps base. And there's shopping right here. We're gonna take you guys into the Kalaheo Hillside neighborhood, which is kind of just Mauka of the AIKAHI area. These communities are comparable. People that aren't looking at Lanikai, they're not looking at Coconut Grove, close to the beach, but the vibe and the feel is a little different. You know, in Coconut Grove, you're more likely to see like a 50-year-old dude, sunburnt, aloha shirt like this, but the aloha shirt's open, cruising on a beach cruiser, getting their afternoon 6-pack of Miller Lite. You're more likely to see that thing over there because it's kind of it's a beach, it's proximal to the beach, right? So it's like a beachy part of the town, which is one of the reasons people want to be in Kailua Town. Maybe a little more charming than the overweight 50-year-old Derek riding his bike to get a 6-pack. Maybe more charming is the 19-year-old girl with a trucker hat skateboarding to get a Red Bull. And so Coconut Grove is definitely more of that beach town vibe. Kaleo Hillside, where we are now, and AIKAHI have this, like, how do you describe the feels?
This part?
AIKAHI is very flat, but Kaleo Hillside, obviously hence the name Kaleo Hillside. One thing I will say with Kaleo Hillside is on sellers' real property disclosure statements, etc., you'll find disclosures in certain zones of homes having foundation issues. So post and pier, maybe like with the water and the erosion coming down from these hills and everything coming this way, you'll find homes that have post and pier, the post slipping. Tofu blocks, those pieces of concrete that the posts sit on, you'll find them kind of slipping and they have to get redone every so many years. Depending on the home and depending on the home's history and how it sits, I would maybe consider having at least you don't have to necessarily have a foundation specialist, but have, you know, a construction person, a general contractor that you trust, check it out, give their comment. And if it's something like a post and pier home that has experienced these things, then it doesn't mean you don't buy it, but it does mean you factor in repairs over time. So I think on the last home we looked at, we were factoring in like $10,000 every 8 years or something like that. So you can do the math monthly and what that increased cost is. We call that in the investor world capital expenditure. So what the CapEx is for potential erosion issues. And if the home's still the right home, then we go for it. If it's not, then it's not. I think this speaks to the difference, you know, your little community mini library, or maybe like free mangoes or something. It's not that you wouldn't have it in Coconut Grove, it's that you would definitely have it in the Kalaheo Hillside and AIKAHI areas. This is an interesting home. This is a home that was listed very, very competitive. I liked it and I didn't. The layout was weird. The pool was nice, and the way the home is, you have like a yard here, a big side yard, a little bit of a back strip, and then another backyard that was the pool. And so this is a home that we competed on. I think we were in the top 3 or so. I think it went for like 1.8 million. So just a simple little, I think it's 3-bedroom with an ADU, so like a little mother-in-law place.
What did you say, 2 mil? 1.8?
I think it's 1.8. Surprising, right? I mean, you see the charm of this like community. So when I lived in California, I lived in Alameda, California for most of it. Alameda somehow kept this little town vibe, even though it's like densely populated, really tight together, a lot of people. But when you went into Oakland, which was like throw a ball across the estuary, you went to Oakland, it was Oakland. You're like, Oakland, Oakland. When you're in Alameda, it just kept this kind of vibe. Now, these aren't gingerbread houses. You know, there's not chimneys and high-pitched roofs. There's no like real shopping mixed in. So it's different than Alameda. But like you're saying, these are edge people. They want Kailua. They want what Kailua offers. Windward side, not as wet as Kaneohe, not as dry as like Kalama Valley and Hawaii Kai. Close to the bay, close to Marine Corps Base. Predictable commute to town, not the worst commute, not the best. No, you're not in town. All of the stuff, you can still go into Kailua. You could ride bike into Kailua and eat breakfast at Cinnamon, boots and kimos, or ride your bike to the beach, or even take a long leisurely walk to the beach. You can do all that stuff from here, but you don't feel like you're in this like Florida beach town with overweight Derek, sunburnt riding with a six-pack, which isn't like ubiquitous, not commonplace in Kailua, but I exaggerate and get nuance for you guys on the channel, right? Here, get some gold for you guys. I only meant to get one. Oh, the milk's dripping. One for your wife, 10 for mine. Oh, look, the little cakey. Oh no, your dad's pretty far. I'm gonna stop. I wanna make sure no cars are coming. Good? Okay, maybe he lives in Kalaheo, and he's like, people drive with respect around here. He's kind of scolding him, telling him, you got too far for me. Yeah, it's a little too far. We just passed over one of the like estuary canal. You'll see people in their kayaks and on their paddle boats. And now we're in a part of Kailua off of Kalaheo. This is where like AIKAHI meets beach. Upscale, community, luxury-ish, without being Lanikai, without being super luxury. Like this house here, like teak wood columns, obviously very tastefully done. Metal roof, board and batten style though. You still have the board and batten style of construction. And I can hear the ocean. Is it a planned community? Well, it has sidewalks. Anytime I see sidewalks and the electric lines are underground, I tend to think planned. Now, is there an association in the same way that there's Mililani? There is a Mililani where everything has to be the same? No. A lot of times these types of communities will have like a voluntary association or committee. I'll be honest, I don't know offhand about it. I'm pretty sure there's no like mandatory association for these homes. Kalaheo is that's the name of a high school. There's a Kalaheo in Kauai. I don't know what it means, but that's a common Hawaiian word, or a more common Hawaiian name, I should say, for a place. You're probably starting at, I mean, depends on what we're talking about, but you're probably
Easily over a million.
Oh, way over $1 million. Closer to 2 million. Depends on, again, it depends, right? One thing about Kalaheo is this is a busy road. If you're on this side of Kalaheo, so you're on the Makai side of Kalaheo, perfect example, like that street, the community owners had gotten together and they put their own little sign. It's like their sign, their community. I would imagine they're very protective over it. I bet you if you park there, the call is being made right away. I see you laughing, but you know, like on one hand, I can't blame them, because if I'm paying $3 or $4 million to be in there with that beach access, like I want to protect it. But on the other hand, it's like chill, you know. So I understand both perspectives. I'm just trying to paint a picture of this part of Kailua, you know. So now we're turning right, going Mauka. So when you're on the ocean side, a lot of that can be qualified as luxury real estate. When you're in these middle streets, it really is hit and miss. So we might turn down one of these streets and there might be like a 2 or 3 house parcel where one of them is like termite ridden, and I don't want to be negative, but like there's we just passed a home that obviously receives a little less attention than some of the other homes on the ocean side, right? It just depends, you know. It just depends on these streets. And in Coconut Grove, when you're on the Makai side, you know what to expect. You're expecting luxury to borderline luxury real estate. In between, depends on the street, depends on the corner, depends on the block. Jehovah's Witness. I actually didn't know that was there. That green I like better. We're, 2 blocks Mauka and Coconut Grove, and we just passed someone that, hard for me to tell if he lives around here in a home or if he lives around here under a tree. Not insulting, right? I'm just explaining. That is like really well taken care of, like Kihei vibes. Now Waimanalo vibes, like there's like 3 homes, the Kanaka Maori flag back there. Just different vibes. Okay, so now we're on Oneava. Oneava is like the Mauka, the mountainside cross street. So all Coconut Grove is like a grid, yeah? In Vegas, it seems like everything's set up as like a waffle. Like everything's cross streets, but Coconut Grove is like that. Like everything's perpendicular. My impression of Coconut Grove is almost like the middle is where I'll find a little bit more rundown homes. The Mauka side, a little more upkept, and then the ocean side is luxury. That's sort of my impression. What's anchoring these people to these areas? So when you're a little bit more Mauka, there's a park over there, which I'm just driving aimlessly and I'm missing. You're close to this large park. You're away from all of this through traffic when you're on the Mauka side. When you're on the Makai side, prices go up because it's luxury. And then everything in the middle, like if you have to live on this traffic, right in the middle of everything, you're not getting the best of either of the worlds, the mountain tucked away side or the ocean side. But then, boom, we drop right into Kailua Town. I feel bad for the uncles that ride bicycles. I'm just hating on them. The transient population, right? Whether it's someone who's riding a bike because they got a DUI and can't drive, or whether it's someone, you know, catching bus or just, you know, walking up and down. Like, you saw different people on the street here, right? Let's just leave it at that. That's what I'm alluding to, is we're coming up on this intersection of Kailua. If I'm transient and I don't have a car, I want to be next to a 7-Eleven. I want to be able to dive in and get a musubi or get my needs met or whatever. Same if I'm catching bus. There's so much less stress when you're just sitting on the bus rather than driving, right? You don't have to be engaged and on. A lot of people probably might just catch the bus from Kailua Town to their job in town. Anytime you're around public transportation, city, shopping, etc., it's going to be cooler, it's going to be more walkable, it's going to be all the things, but then it's also going to invite some other things. So now we are in Kailua Town. This is like where Kailua Town feels like nice, right? The monkey pod trees. This strip is where you think Kailua Town, you think this, right? Core Power Yoga, the breweries around here, Whole Foods, Down to Earth, Lanikai Juice, bunch of cool little restaurants. There's Indian food, California Pizza Kitchen, Fat Boys Burgers, multiple gyms. Morning Brew has good cold brew. So some of the things I was alluding to, Kailua Town, we're kind of capturing it all right here. Bookstore behind me, firefighters, public servants walking that way. We got some footage, we're keeping respectful. We're not gonna show the person's face or anything, but there's a person who, you know, obviously you only act like that when you're on some type of drugs, probably ice in Hawaii, so probably Batu. We call it Batu. This shows the different aspects of Kailua, right? The person standing in front of Down to Earth, Kailua Exchange, like a cafe. We're gonna show you guys Morning Brew Coffee, which is amazing. You got this used bookstore here, which is super cool. And then you also have that, you know, you also have transient population. I'm trying to explain everything and be respectful. There's peaks and valleys in life, and so I don't at all intend to be disrespectful, but it's Kailua, you know, anytime you have high walkability, you know, this kind of shopping and dining and public transportation coming through, you're gonna have a mashup. You can't have all of those things and it only be, you know, here, unless you're like on a resort. You choose Ko'olina, intentionally placed set of restaurants and shops for, you know, with high tourism. You can't have it all. And you know what? Sometimes I worry my kids are growing up too sheltered anyway. We went to Waikiki a few weeks ago. My son, who's 8 years old, he hadn't really been in, like, you know, when Waikiki turns to night, which stay tuned for our Waikiki video. We're looking forward to that one. We're gonna go all out documentary for that one. But my son hadn't really been into like Waikiki at night. He was kind of like, why are there so many bad people? Like, do we live in a different kind of village? He told me. And I was like, you know what? He probably needs to be exposed to some of this stuff. Talk to the people that live here, why they live here, why they love it here. It might be the perfect balance of like nerfed, you know, rounded, soft edges and like a little bit of real life going on in Kailua Town. I don't know. Can I explain it anymore? Are we good?
You did it.
We're good? Yeah. Okay. Let's get some Morning Brew. I didn't bring my wallet in. So we come into Morning Brew and I didn't bring my wallet. Sorry. You know, I always talk about avocado toast on the channel. I feel like I have to order it. Can I have the avocado and egg toast? Blueberry and salmon, I don't know. I'm panic ordering right now. Yeah. Panic ordering? Yeah. We just ran into a kite surfing person from Australia. I said, why did you move to Kailua? And she said, because everything's a 10-minute bike away. Everything that makes me happy. That's what she said. Everything that makes me happy is a 10-minute bike away. So Morning Brew coffee, little sack of groceries. So I was just like, I'm trying to figure out how you're gonna ride your bike with all of those groceries. And she said, yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out the same thing. Biking, kite surfing, and then we'll check out our food here. We just came from Morning Brew down this way, and there aren't really new homes anywhere around here. Everything's older, yeah. But there's one development. So if you want to get into a townhome, condo type vibe, DR Horton build, newer build, this is really the zone right here. Present day, 900 to north of $1 million. Prices could correct. Make sure to reach out to us if this is something you're interested in. But if you want newer and you're not buying single family where you're doing the updates or where you're building new or where you're just rehabbing the crap out of something, and you want new and you want to walk into Kailua Town, walk to Morning Brew, this is it, or walk to Starbucks, this is really your only option. When you get into Windward Harbor, Windward Passage, those buildings behind Maui Brewing and stuff over there on A'oloa, they're like, you know, 1970s type builds, and the age is apparent unless the unit's been renovated. What should we do next? Go beach? Okay guys, so we're gonna show you guys Kalapava Market today. A quintessential like lunch spot. They're all over the place, but I feel like Kalapava belongs in a Kailua video. However, I feel like you guys want me to get in the ocean. Halfway, I just want to get in the ocean, and we're pressed on time. So I'm gonna do a quick, get closer. I'm gonna do, hey! No. Okay, my bad. No, I was getting closer to get out of the shot. So I'm gonna do a quick towel change here, get into my surf shirt. Kind of windy, it'll be kind of cold today, but take you guys into the ocean, and then we're gonna check out some more neighborhoods. Another thing is, so anyone who's looking for an off-market deal, we have a off-market Kailua, I think probably 1.8 million or something, but we have one right here. Like, you can smell the ocean right over there. They're doing renovations, so it's probably coming in a couple of months. So whenever this video drops, if you're watching it in real time, know that we have a pretty cool house. It's gonna be perfectly renovated, off-market. Hit us up. We have our contact information below. Sign the form, we'll do a consult, and tell you guys more about it. Yeah.
I'm pointing to where Kailua is.
See if I can get it. Is it right here?
You out in the ocean, bro.
I'm in the ocean?
Way in the, oh, close. Oh, now you hold it. Oh, like, yeah.
Woo, cold.
Unknown caller.
That's actually a perfect mango tree. Pro tip, sometimes people are buying in Hawaii, they're like, oh, I want a mango and a banana and a papaya. And so one that can attract rats.
Who was our client was talking about? The place they bought, like everybody has a mango tree, and they just moved in and their neighbors were telling them, oh, you have to like...
You owe us the mangoes?
No, they all put pools in their yard, but they're like, yeah, the only thing about all these mango trees is when we have windstorms, all the rats fly into the pool. Yeah, we always have drowned rats in these pools.
My other clients, you haven't met Mike and Christine, they have cows in Makakilo that come through and eat like tear up their yard because they want to eat the mangoes. Mike and Jessica,
they have pigs.
Pigs that come eat the mangoes and drink from the waterfall. Mango trees are, I would love to have one. It sounds beautiful. But even better, we sell you a house, you have the mangoes, and I come get them. But that one's a nice one because it's not too big. You could probably manage to pick them up or tell your neighbors come pick them up. We were there last time when we did the first part of this video. This morning I just put gas, the 76 down there. You're like an older lady from the mainland, high vis shirt, an orange or a green or yellow shirt. And it was like blank pool and spa. And then Uncle showed up, seemingly from the mainland. He had like the construction shirt, and everyone there, there's like no one who looked like me or you there. But they had the construction thing going. You don't see like a construction uncle and auntie in Hawaii Kai.
So it's funny to me how many times you said put gas, which is like a moke thing. Do you know people don't say that, right?
Let's address that.
Yeah.
Mahe is teasing me.
Well, only because everybody teases me when I say it. They're like, oh, you're gonna put gas. Oh, you put gas.
Put gas. What do you...
You're like, go get gas.
So she's teasing my pigeon. Like, put gas. What do you guys say? So leave it in the comments. Is that just a Hawaii thing to say put gas?
To me, it's like, yeah, but you're like putting the gas.
I never thought about it. It's raining, and that's frustrating because I need new windshield wipers. it's fitting because Kailua, especially the place we're going into, Maunawili, which is the Mauka, the mountain part of Kailua, it's rainy over here.
This is like a I need a pressure washer neighborhood.
When we did the Maui video, what's the place called where your auntie lives? Or where
Maui Meadows?
Does it have like a little Maui Meadows feel?
I mean, I guess because it has where it's like seems really like elevated and it's actually a very nice neighborhood, but it still has like a country feel to it. It just feels different because of where it is on the island. Like you're not gonna, this actually feels more like the nice pockets of like Makawa where you drive up the road and there's like jacaranda trees everywhere.
Oh, what tree?
This purple tree right here.
Oh yeah, everyone knows jacaranda.
The purple shower tree. You didn't wave at me.
Well, I think it was rainy and we did it kind of late.
Made eye contact and did not wave back at me. So anyway.
Let me pause under a
jacaranda tree.
memorandum tree or whatever. I feel like that's a nice Maunawili setting right there, yeah? This is kind of quintessential Maunawili.
Oh, look, there's like the mist in the background. Oh, this house is just so like Kailua, Maunawili, like jungle, Hawaiian, updated plantation feel, nice manicured yard, nice ferns, torch tea leaf, tiare plant. If I were gonna have an old plantation house, it would feel like this. The one up here.
Yeah, it went for 1.65 cash.
Oh yeah, and it was like
because they offered 155 and they felt great, right? But it was big, a lot of usable land.
Yeah. So
this home probably, I mean, it's hard to tell how big it is,
yeah,
right?
we can't see how far back it goes.
But I'm gonna venture off to say 1.4. 1.4 because of the setting, the view. Usually these homes have been extended once in the back. But yeah, maybe 1.3 if it's smaller and not in good shape. But I'll say 1.4.
I bet the backyard is real nice though. Oh, there is a house directly behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 1.2 then.
What's the first thing you think of when you think Maunawili?
Rain.
Not the hike, the waterfall.
I guess, yeah.
There's a hike into the mountains and there's a waterfall. And unless you're going to someone's house or to that hike, there's really no reason to ever.
Yeah.
I guarantee you half the people on this island never been to Maunawili.
I was just, yeah, you know what, you're right, because you're asking me now what's the first thing I think of, but that's because we've been in here a bunch, like with clients.
Prior to real estate.
I've never been in here aside from going to that hike.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's muddy.
So yeah, so it's catching the hike at the right time.
Oh, I bought a couch from this house.
Are you serious?
Yes, I did.
Shut the...
I'm not joking. I got a couch from this house right here.
Oh, I bought a couch from this house.
I did.
Oh, that house is pretty major.
I like that.
Let's go up this road real quick. Views in multiple directions.
This is my favorite one so far.
I love a porch.
Look at
this.
Look at the plants. Look at how big the ginger is.
Back to the plants.
Oh my god, look at how huge the ginger is. Props, my guy. Everything's like rusted and there's like mildew and moss everywhere.
You definitely in Seattle, you know. Look at this take on bars on windows.
Look at the birds. Can I come in here?
I gotta reverse, bro.
Oh, I'm like driving all the way. I was like, you can't do that.
See if you guys cook breakfast already? You know Mahe from YouTube. Is there any way to turn the rain off a little bit though?
This street in here, I love all of these houses.
So like they malama this?
Yeah. Wow. They must because it's right across. I don't know actually, but it's very well taken care of.
Somebody in
Poor Kenny, just in the community poor Kenny's.
Don't you ever have community poor?
Look it! I want one white, one orange.
Not like the other part of this video where I took too much.
The most fragrant flower.
That's Hawaii.
In Hawaii. Yes.
Nice smell?
One is more not ripe. That's not the word. What's the word for ripe flower?
I think ripe. I'm going with ripe.
So these flowers smell the best. They smell better than I would venture to say any flower anywhere.
I think so. Like when you think tropical flower, this is the one.
Yeah. And you can string them and make lei, but they don't
last
very long. They die so fast.
These things die.
So that's why they're so special, because you have to pick them, string them, and give them right away, because they just don't last. But they smell so good. And, fun fact, in Hawaii, you put your pua on the left ear, that means you're taken. If you put your pua on your right ear, that means you're single. So, look out for it, guys.
We were going to meet sellers, my wife and I, yesterday, and Bob and Sam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I picked the Plumeria, and because their Plumeria, their pink one is like going off. And she goes, "Oh, which ear do I put it on?" And then he goes, Depend where you're going. Or like depend.
Not anybody who went to that school. Yay, we got a shaka!
We got the shaka from the policeman. So we had clients recently. They came from the mainland and they were like, that's what we want. We want Maunawili, 100%, 100%. It's hard to deliver on that because Maunawili doesn't sell very often. It's a mature neighborhood. They don't sell their houses that often. There's such a range between like 1 and 2 million, right? Or 1 and even 2.5. If your range is like, oh, I can buy from 1.3 to 1.5 or 1.5, 1.7 is what I'm looking for. Like the chance of that transacting when you're ready is low.
There aren't that many houses.
Yeah.
I bet you when there are people that are going to sell, it's probably like, oh, the neighbor that they've been neighbors with for 40 years has like their mom wants to move here.
Right.
You know, something. Even the agent that we, you know, almost worked with on that one, like she was from the area too. Right. Like it's all very, very small and insulated in there. It's its own little thing.
The home was listed, but the neighbors had first dibs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely feels like a neighbors have first dibs kind of
a lot of time. Yeah. So on the right here is Rejardin Academy. Well, you went to private school, so you probably know. You know Rejardin? Anyone from Rejardin?
I actually don't. Actually, one girl I paddled with. Yeah.
It's not a school that you know a lot of people from.
No. I wonder what their graduating class size is there. I've never, that's not.
30.
What are they even like known for?
It's a French.
But like.
So you learn how to speak French. The Rejardin Academy is a top-rated private school in Kailua. It has 795 students, K through 12, with a student-teacher ratio of 8 to 1.
Oh, that's fantastic. 8 to 1?
8 to 1.
That's so good.
How about this tunnel of trees?
Why didn't you say that the last street we were just on Rejardin, like that?
No, but right here, because you always come down this street.
Yeah.
When you come Kailua.
Yeah.
And this tunnel, and then you come out, and then there's Olomana, Castle Hospital. It's the welcoming gates to Kailua. Olomana's another place that you don't go in here.
No.
Unless you know someone or you're doing real estate. There's really no reason for someone to come in here. Almost has Maunawili vibes. Doesn't feel as like private and off the beaten path as Maunawili, yeah?
It's like all, looks like smaller lots in here. Not the same nice views from like, I think Maunawili is small enough, like small and pocketed right in that little like puka.
Oh, easy puka.
Pocketed in
You're gonna talk about put gas and then throw puka and pua all in the video. I don't know what to say about Olomana. It's just a more...
Feels more country.
Setback, mountain, you know, Mauka neighborhood. The lot sizes are smaller, right? So it's not quite Maunawili with these 1 acre lots or half of an acre or a quarter of an acre even. Still pretty wet.
You know what? There's a lot more boats parked in these.
I did notice the boat game is strong, which probably tells me more uncles that like to go fishing.
Yeah, more fishing uncles.
More fishing uncles. I can't see the word Olomana, the name Olomana, without thinking of Hawaiian 105, like Hawaiian music. When I hear when I hear Olomana, I think of the band.
Yeah.
It's one of the few songs I can play on the guitar, and then people, oh, you can jam? I go, nah. It's the
one.
only song I can play. Yeah.
You just need one good one.
Yeah, so one
and
good one.
Olomana is a good one.
Ku'uhomeo Kahalu.
Oh, yeah.
That's Olomana, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
And really, I feel like Maunawili is more Olomana in terms of the aura of that band, yeah?
This is nice.
That's the Olomana.
Look, you got like tree line right there. And then you have the mountain right there. Okay, this is nice. Feels a little bit more country, maybe more older cars, you know, like an old 4Runner, like a cool like off-roading beater kind. Like there's just a little bit more beater kind cars.
We are coming up on the Norfolk. Not to be confused with Virginia.
What is this? Unlocking a new level for me.
No one, unlocking. No one's gonna tell you about this area. You're only gonna find this here.
That's not a house, is it?
That is.
This is a house? Oh, look at this gate.
Don't you ever have a detached garage?
I know.
200 feet from the house. It's not Ocean Point detached.
My God. They're also custom looking and also different and huge.
Okay, whoa.
Oh.
Sora. So first impressions. I'm not
Okay.
too brand new. Okay.
My first impressions would be
wow.
Yeah, wow.
My wife would love these pines.
Oh yeah, she would, yeah.
She loves trees. We went to Hano yesterday or the day before, and I was like, pretty amazing, huh? She's like, nah.
Because there's no trees up there.
Yeah, I was like,
There really are no trees.
you're so hard to please. That was just the most beautiful view on the island. And she's
Actually,
like,
you know what?
yeah.
That's actually a really good observation, which I never thought about. There is a lack of trees up there.
Well, Hawaii Kai in that corner, it's not wet.
Yeah.
Like the foliage is not there. It's kind of like Maui. It's kind of like Southwest Maui. Maybe we said it was Bulahead.
Oh, look at the stairwell on this one. Everything here looks so custom. You know what it feels like? Wailua Ridge homes, but in like a jungle. You know what? They would have estate sales up here, I feel like. These aren't homes, these are estates. That's my impression of this.
Almost like the top of Pupukea vibes, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So my wife, she would take this over Lanikai.
Oh, I guarantee. I would too.
You would too?
I would too.
You know what I mean? Lanikai is the quintessential Kailua beach view.
I'm thinking of this like friend I had who lived right there in Lanikai, and like there you could like launch kayaks from their place right on the cliffside there too, which was nice. But I mean, look at how many plants there are down here.
If Mahe were a movie character, it'd be one of those blue people from Avatar.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, you're guaranteed. Don't they have tattoos too? Or they have like
No,
markings?
they just have, like-
You like a baby. This might be the new dream
One of
home.
them? Yeah. Nah, Crozier still
Crozier.
it. But this, man, I could do this for sure.
The thing is, you have to deal with the same moisture level as Crozier here, so why not get the ocean?
Yeah, that's true.
But if you're perched on one of these hills with the ocean view and all of these trees and everything,
Oh, man.
it might be hard not to. And I always talk about how Oahu, it's hard to find a place where you're pretty proximal to the ocean, but still have this view.
Yeah.
And this
Only
might
on
be
the
one of the
only
few.
windward side we can accomplish that, yeah?
Like Kaneohe, like Lilipuna, but you can't really surf or do things in the water there too. So
Yeah.
like on Maui, you can be like, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
Kihei, right there looking at the ocean and then walk to it as well. Like Kahala offers that. Oahu kind of sucks for that.
Yeah.
Hawaii Kai, but not a lot of sandy beaches in Hawaii
love,
Kai.
for some reason, like the aesthetic of this. I think it's just the colors. Normally,
Yeah,
I
the
don't like
landscaping.
This. Yeah, I don't like this type of like. Normally, this is not like my favorite type of roof style, but like the colors and the landscaping and the blue, and how lush everything is. They have some aquaponics in the backyard. You gotta be kidding me! Oh my god, that's just like their garage and house. That garage is
No, is that just
That's
a
the
garage? That's a garage and guest
and a
house?
studio upstairs.
I like this house. I love a porch.
Oh, this looks mainlandy, like.
I know, I like Tennessee
Yeah,
vibes.
it feels
huh?
like Georgia.
Where's the
or like
Where's the
something.
chimney? Look, even has the southern farm
Yeah.
fence.
Oh, look at the monstera just growing wild out there. Look at how big these plants are.
Salu. That's like Tony Stark's house.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
weird modern angular.
Oh, how's this driveway? Oh, come my house. Type in 123 Norfolk Street. You gotta get that. Old Kalanianaole Street. Oh, you guys never know about the old one, huh?
These houses all have wings. I would love a wing in my house to like cannot hear my kids kind of.
Well done, Norfolk. Well done.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, here's my favorite neighborhood on Oahu. So you got Malibu vibes, Savannah, Georgia vibes. Maybe like La Jolla.
I haven't been like, whoa, like lean out of my seat driving through a neighborhood and I don't know how long.
Let's even say the homes were normal. It's like in its own nook, yeah.
You somehow have ocean view. When you come to the road right here, it's like, man, you wouldn't think that there'd be such expansive views from just right here. Clouds hanging up against the mountain right behind you, but also you look the other direction, it's just like ocean. I love it.
So now we're turning into Keolu Hills. This is a place we end up talking about with clients a lot. Turn left at this light, it's different than when you turn right at this light. When you go down, you hit Enchanted Lake. It's a really pockety area and you kind of have to know it zone by zone. But let's stop for a minute and appreciate these views. We chose this spot because it's picturesque. We turned into the Keolu Enchanted Lake area. In this video, we've gone through Maunawili and Olomana and Norfolk, so the Mauka side of Kalanianaole Highway. On the Makai side, it's still that, so you can still catch these views, right? You can still catch the ko'olaus and these monkey pod trees. So you can just catch these vibes, and you don't have to go into the $4 million, like the true luxury space. You might get north of 1.5 in this area, but you're probably not going to go over 2 million right here.
I think before I got into real estate, I had one very clear-cut like idea of what I thought Kailua was.
It was like Kailua Town to Lanikai kind of vibe.
I mean, we drove through Norfolk, which is like the first time I've ever been through there, and it's incredible.
A little bit more that way. We had a client who was looking at this home, beautiful pictures, but when you got there, like, neighbors really mattered. Privacy issues mattered. Noise from Likelike Highway mattered. And so this area of Kailua, it's really pocket. If you turn left or turn right, you can get a different experience. By the Enchanted Lakes area, it's like flat. And then you can see where we are here. So you were saying most people in Kailua, like when they're thinking Kailua, they're thinking Oneava, Coconut Plantation, Lanikai, like
Because
beach town.
you want to like wear a bikini and ride a bike and do that kind of stuff. But you can get this in Kailua too. You can be in a jungle in Kailua. I might prefer this over beach. You can't do that. You can't have an okina. Look, you see the typo?
What?
We gotta call the county.
Why?
Because look, there's a typo.
I don't trust her Hawaiian
hey,
language
that's
skills
pretty
anyways.
to see.
Hawaiian word of the day.
Ooh, I didn't realize there was an okina in the front too.
Why is the okina in the front? It's not like you're shortening it when there's the kahako on the first vowel.
You're not shortening, you're just hitting it hard.
Well, you hit it hard and then draw it out with the kahako.
Yeah.
Okay, so AIKAHI. Oh, no, ko'a.
Yeah, ko'a.
See, I forgot the last okina. AIKAHI. I don't know what that means. I think city and county making stuff up. Someone on our YouTube commented on our old Kailua video, like just like this morning. Oh, you guys didn't do Olomana, Maunawili, Pu'akupu. And they're right, we didn't in the other video. For time's sake, we're not gonna go to Pu'akupu today, but it's right over there. Notable mention, might be able to see the sign. But similar vibe to Olomana, you know, like older Kailua neighborhood. I felt it prudent. We have to come to Hillcrest. For Kailua real estate, this is a place that some people are going to look and seek. Hillcrest is like the hilly backside of Keolu, you know, as is the name, hills and crests. And you have some really impressive homes in here. Not the big yards, not the big estates of Norfolk, and definitely not the flat country feel of Olomana. You can kind of see how all of the views that these hills and these crests offer dictates that everyone's put these big porches, these wraparound lanais, etc. This is a nice kind of hidden gem, I would say. Not so hidden. Hidden in plain sight. It's different when you're shooting with just one person. It's not the banter. Yeah. The banter. I found a home that's listed here right now. You'll notice the theme in this neighborhood. Everything is au, A-U. Au this, au that. But this home on the right here. Yeah. So that one is the one for sale right now. So you look at that house. How much do you think that house will be listed for?
Considering you're talking like 1/4 down there.
Yeah, you gotta put it into context, right? Yeah, Keolu at this point is starting 1/4, you know. So you can see the views right through there. So you can imagine what kind of view this home has. Nothing super impressive from the outside right here right now, but the views must be amazing. We're gonna catch the views on the way out. Oh look, both of these guys are Marines, yeah? They both have an American and a Marine flag. So you can see this house, the dome house. Like when you're down the hill, you see this one house and this is it. That's the one right there. In Pensacola Beach, I remember there was a house like that. And supposedly it was built to sustain hurricanes. Because if the water crashes over, it's a dome. I'm not an architect, but I think they did it for this one to just catch the panoramic views. If you're military, prior, present, let me know in the comments what branch. You know, I used to be Coast Guard, and I was a reservist, still am a reservist. That's my dirty little secret. I'm still a reservist, but I'm putting in my packet to go IRR and get out. But if you're past, present, future military, let us know in the comments. In our last Kailua video, we went well into Keolu. On the left is Enchanted Lake. So we just wanted to hit on Enchanted Lake real quick. Enchanted Lakes is like where Kailua is flat, older plantation homes. Some homes on the back, there's like the lake, quote unquote, or the canal. I mean, we've been in here multiple times in other videos. When I think Enchanted Lake, I think of that mid-range Kailua vibe with paved sidewalks, depending on where you are in the neighborhood. So if you have water as a part of your backyard, then obviously that's gonna come at a a higher premium than if you don't. But I think of a lot of older, like single level homes, not a lot of 2-story. So a perfect example, you know, here, looks like we have a 2nd story back there. We even look at this home, you know, single story. And then I think of a lot of houses like this one right here. I don't know if it ever occurred to you, but you know, like the low pitch roof, roofers would know better, but when the roof is lacking a certain amount of pitch, instead of individual shingles, they roll out these long asphalt things because the roof isn't very pitchy. So likewise, inside the home, the ceilings aren't very tall and there's no attic, etc. So I think of this type of shorter, you know, lower profile single family home here in Enchanted Lake. The 1970s style smaller homes. And then here's a perfect version of that I was speaking of, redone. You know, redone, and I would say well done. You have that kind of what I would say like a Hawaiian wood feature kind of thing. Certainly a lot of people that are new to the channel may not have seen our other Kailua video. This will be the ultimate one. We're showing, you know, all of Kailua, but the only other thing that you just can't replicate from the last one. You know, we had an auntie kind of spitting it, saying it like it is. We had some kind of rude people not just walking when it wasn't their turn to walk. You know, we showed the townhome areas too, the A'uloa. We showed like the townhome community a little better in that one too. So we got some shots of the kayakers in the canal or Enchanted Lake. So this is Enchanted Lake's area. I mean, check, look over here. So this almost gives me like in the south, like fishing freshwater in Alabama or something. But you catch bass right there, you know, flip like a frog, topwater or something. It also gives you like an Indonesian or like Kauai freshwater type of vibe. This is a whole nother aspect. I mean, Kailua, there's so many facets to Kailua, and Enchanted Lake's one of them. On the positive side, you can jump in and wake up and kayak and, you know, do that whole thing. On the negative side, we got to pay attention to the flood zones. You may or may not be in a more disadvantageous flood zone. Maybe a little bit of a privacy issue. Maybe you don't like people kayaking to your back door because you like to have your coffee and your boxers or whatever. Sometimes, depending on rainfall and whatnot, a little bit more mosquitoes and things of that nature. So these are just the fine nuances of Kailua. You can't have this and be on the mountains in Norfolk and be on Hillcrest. You know, you can't have it all in one. But if you don't care about the mountains and you maybe aren't quite in a position to buy right on Lanikai, this Enchanted Lake Keolu area might be for you. If you're living here before Lanikai, so in between Enchanted Lake and Lanikai, Kainalu area. So that's Kainalu Drive. You're in the flats of Kailua, very bikeable, but it's obviously a different thing than Maunawili. Even feels different than Enchanted Lakes. I think maybe the thoroughfare makes it almost, you feel the beachiness and the touristy. You know what, we're hungry. So we are going to hit Kalapava. This is the original, yeah? This is the OG? I cannot say I forgot my wallet this time.
I forgot mine.
No, I get it. We stopped to eat at Kalapava Market. This is the OG, the original Kalapava. Now you see them in Waimanalo. There's another in Kailua, Kapolei, all over the place. And the guy at the register, Kaden, he said, hey, I see you guys on YouTube. So if he gets a breaking customer, he's gonna come out and chat with us and be on the video. You know, Mahe was talking about another part of the video. Towards those mountains, there's those different vibes. Maunawili, Olomana, Norfolk, etc. Even Hillcrest and Keolu don't feel like this. But that beach town Kailua vibe, check it out. Like a Santa Cruz type sticker, the Kailua Town biking thing. We were talking about the beach vibes, the thoroughfare here. And we're hoping to time a kayaker. So kayaker right there. A bunch of tourist traffic, local traffic, like a kayak surf shop thing right there where the pizza sign is. How close we are to the beach? We are about like a football field? Like a football field away from the beach. Wanna do it? Caden's in it. So we went into Kalapava and Caden's like, oh, I see you guys on YouTube. So how long have you lived in Kailua? Or do you live in Kailua?
Yeah, I do. I've lived here since August. I lived in Kaneohe for a year.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
From Seattle?
Yeah, I came here for school.
So what, you go to like HPU or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm taking a gap year right now, but I think I'm going back soon.
I'm not a big school guy.
Yeah.
What are you studying?
I was doing environmental science.
Cool. My Coast Guard career was like environmental stuff.
Oh, cool.
In a few sentences, like what's Kailua?
I don't know, a few words, probably just like a chill beach town. Everyone's pretty happy to be here, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's way more laid back than town. I feel like it's more like community oriented here.
What's maybe something that you had to adjust to? Problems you had, anything like that?
I don't know, just being kind of far away from everything of the mainland.
Let
Probably.
me ask you this then. I get a lot of questions, and I have to, as an agent, we have to be careful how we talk about demographics, protected classes. How is it being a young man from Seattle, you know, being not from here? Is a lot of that, like the movies like North Shore and stuff, overhyped?
Yeah, I've had like no issues. Everyone here is really cool.
Like if you're cool, it'll be cool, right?
Yeah, if you're like
Yeah.
laid back, chill.
Okay.
I feel like everyone's pretty chill.
Has anyone ever told you what your name in like pidgin means?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. How long did it take before you realized your name in
I don't
pidgin?
know. I saw some like skit that was called like Kaden Productions. I was like,
Kaden,
that's
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Kaden's name in like Hawaii language, it's like, okay then, see you later. Okay then, so like, Kaden,
Yeah.
Kaden. You
know,
don't
a
hear
few
like
times.
guys talking, you're like,
No, I have a few times. But
Yeah.
People have pointed it out before.
Kaden.
Cool. Nice
Thanks
to
for
meet
being
you.
right there. Like that. Thanks for being on our channel.
Yeah. Nice to see you guys.
Thanks, man.
See ya.
That's Kaden.
Get it.
Kaden. All right, Lanikai?
Let's go.
Let's do it. So we're laughing because just like in the last Kailua video where we ran into lack of Hawaii etiquette, we were just coming out of Kalapava Market and it's hard to get out right there and the guy had to back out. So I went out, I blocked for him so he could get out. You're supposed to give without expecting, but forget that. You expect a shaka in Hawaii. You expect something if you go so far out of your way to help someone. It's just expected. Okay, so we are entering Lanikai, the Postcard neighborhood. This is a little pocket of homes that is tucked away into a certain little corner. It's an exclusive place, you know. One thing about Lanikai, the reception is bad here. So they put up an antenna to like bounce off the radio waves or whatever. My other client would know. He's gonna be watching this like, what the heck? I told you already. They put up the AT&T one, I believe. And then everyone was like, it looks ugly, we don't want it. So they rallied against it. But now you kind of have to have AT&T if you go too deep into here. So here's a private club, the Mid-Pacific Club. Look, security. I don't know for sure because I haven't done the research, but I'm going to say it's not cheap. Pillbox start here. We're not gonna go up the Pillbox hike right there. So Bluestone, I think I have like a Coast Guard friend who has a condo in there actually. She got it in like the early 2000s. She's done quite well. One thing with Lanikai though, speaking to that beach town vibe, such as this sign right here, the homes in Lanikai aren't all necessarily, like you're almost a little more impressed when you drive into Norfolk. And not almost, like you are, right? Yeah. It's not almost, you are. However, when you realize, like when we drone from here and you realize what you're amongst here, then you're like, oh wow, okay. Yeah, if you took these homes and you put them in Eva or whatever, no one would be very impressed. You take the homes in Norfolk and you put them anywhere and it's like, wow, beautiful home. But you know what? I appreciate that, right? Everything's not a $5 million estate. I appreciate that as well. And so there's just a different, you know, it's a different culture when you're surrounded by the beach. We're on a road here called Ko'oho'o. So we're up on a hill in Lanikai. You can see the balcony game here, which as you should have a balcony like that when that's your view. So when people think Lanikai, they're really thinking of that. They're thinking of the mokes, the changes in the color of the ocean from dark blue to light bluish green to dark blue to light blue, the reef, shadows. Arguably the most picturesque beach on the whole island is Kailua Beach, and then even more so is Lanikai. And so this neighborhood just has a prestige to it and an exclusivity to it. You know, you have everything from, like there's some smaller plantation homes down there that are just like a home you would see in Eva or Waimanalo or Haleiwa or just normal homes. And I kind of appreciate that. So like when we went into the Norfolk neighborhood, there's obviously a prestige. Let this truck go by. Shakas. Oh, the sticker here, Kailua Boys. There's obviously a prestige in some of these other neighborhoods, or just, you know what? just being on this island is prestigious, right? Like, how lucky are we? Lanikai has a different vibe, but it has everything from, you know, there's some homes right behind me here on Ko'oho'o Place that might go, you can see my van, you know.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm gonna pause on the Lanikai thing. I think where we're ranked, maybe top 100, maybe top 50 on the island. Definitely top 100. Like, we're selling a ton of real estate, helping a lot of people, but why not the van? I mean, I know it's dirty right now because it's been raining. It's raining in this video. Whether you're an agent out there, whether you're a young person, parents, if you're watching, go get your young people, send them this message. Until your passive income, until your assets, until your investments are at a place where your expenses are paid for by your mailbox money or by your passive income account, keep the van. So you have that number you need, keep the van, okay? That was just a quick message, because you're not gonna get one of these beautiful homes if you keep buying Ford Lightnings. Where was I? Okay, so homes here, we can go north of 5 million, maybe north of 6 million, etc. North of 7 maybe. It'll depend on each home. And if you're watching this and like a home valuation, go to myhawaiihomevalue.com. Even if it's 700,000, it doesn't have to be 7 million. But then we have like, let's see if can we see any like plantation? You have like simpler homes, like see the brown one over there? They're still doing some work on it. We're not talking 5, 6 million. You're not talking like a luxury estate, but you're paying for the proximity to these oceans, to be in this neighborhood. Proximity to one of the most famous hikes on the island. The Pillbox hike is right over there. I have a client. We're actually meeting with them tomorrow. You know, he's a physician in California. She's a real estate agent in California. And no shame, they're like, hey, does this neighborhood have any sort of prestige or reputation to it? And after they asked twice, I said, is that important to you? And they say, yeah. Actually, if I'm gonna come to Hawaii and pay 2 million cash, or 2 plus, or 3 million, etc., I'd like to have a neighborhood that at least someone's heard of it. If I invite people over to entertain, it'd be nice if they've heard of it. As you should, you're spending 3 million, do your thing, right? Lanikai is certainly that. And the reason why it is that is this right here.